This one's wife. Georgetown. Surely they're not greasing palms. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. What do you know about Georgetown University? Well, Georgetown University is a private Jesuit research university in the Georgetown neighborhood of Washington, D.C. in the United States. It was founded by Bishop John Carroll in 1789 as Georgetown College. It's the oldest Roman Catholic institution of higher education in the United States. The university has 11 undergraduate and graduate schools. Its main campus is on a hill above the Potomac River and is identifiable by Healy Hall, a National Historic Landmark. It's classified among R1 doctoral universities. High research activity and undergraduate admissions is considered highly selective. The university offers degree programs in 48 disciplines, enrolling an average of 7,500 undergraduate and 10,000 graduate students from more than 135 countries. The school's athletic teams are nicknamed the Hoyas and include a men's basketball team which has won a record 8 Big East championships, appeared in 5 Final Fours and won a national championship in 1984. Notable alumni include 28 Rhodes Scholars, 32 Marshall Scholars, 33 Truman Scholars, 543 Fulbright Scholars, 8 Living Billionaires, 2 U.S. Supreme Court Justices, 2 U.S. Presidents, and a partridge in a pear tree. Georgetown has produced more U.S. diplomats than any other university, as well as many members of the United States Congress, State Department, and CIA. A little bit of a history there. Its endowment in 2023 was $3.3 billion. Its budget is $1.5 billion, with an academic staff of 2,610. Well, that's all very interesting, HG, you may ask. But what are you telling us this for? Well, I'm telling you because a bit of sleuthing has been undertaken. The subreddit, Saint This One's Wife, they use a full name, as you know I don't. There's been a post by somebody called Build the Herd. And Build the Herd has identified something interesting. As you'll be aware, yesterday, Archwell produced its report and provided a slick video which has attempted to tell us all that this one's wife is an angel of mercy, dispensing empathic goodness wherever she goes. A Form 990 was disclosed. This lists grants and other assistance to domestic organisations and domestic governments. Forms part of the financial tax information that Archwell has to lodge. So, for instance, this tells us that $10,000 went to Save the Children Federation in Nigeria. The purpose of it was to provide assistance and medical support to those affected by the floods in Nigeria. $10,000 went to the United States Fund for UNICEF in Nigeria. It was to provide assistance, life-saving resources and mental health support to those affected by the floods in Nigeria. $65,000 went to Girls Who Code, which was to underwrite a research program which explores how representation of American motherhood. There's a further donation of $50,000 to something called HIAS Inc., which was to assist with the response in Ukraine, to provide vital services to refugees and asylum seekers. $50,000 to Wellbeing International, which was to support a capital refurbishment program to improve canine welfare. $50,000 to Parents Together Foundation to support their work on tech accountability, especially as it relates to parents and families. $44,000 went to Purpose, $25,000 went to Equimundo, $25,000 to Project Healthy Minds Corporation. $25,000 to Free Press, which is to support and strengthen community journalism and work towards an ethical and open free press, so long as it tells the world that this one's wife is wonderful. $25,000 went to the Macy Lab School, which is to support civic tech programs. And on it went. $65,000, as mentioned, to Equimundo. There was $125,000 which went to NAACP empowerment programs. $100,000 to the Halo Trust. $100,000 to the Hope Lab. $165,000 went to Kaboom Inc. This was to create a play space for play therapy and healing for children and the community at Delion. And then there was a grant of $200,000 to go to Georgetown. The purpose was to support their initiative of gender justice and opportunity to build trainings. Accordingly, out of all of the grants over $5,000, presumably those below $5,000, you don't have to declare who it's gone to, the largest recipient was Georgetown, a university which has got a $3 billion or over $3 billion endowment. Why, oh why, would Archwell be spending $200,000 in the direction of Georgetown? Wasn't Archwell's purpose to assist with small organisations, not be providing money to some behemoth in the academic sector? Interestingly, some sleuthing from Fruity Pebbles tells us that the Georgetown grant was to the Gender Equity and Inclusion Department. Apparently they focus on race-based gender equity for black girls only. The director there is somebody called Rebecca Epstein, and the site brags about her getting invited to the White House. So why would it be that some virtue-signalling academic jargon gobbledygook, as Yacht Rock Groupie describes it, why does that become worth $200,000? Why is the DEI movement receiving this money? Might it be that this was because this one's wife has deemed Georgetown as the champion of gender equity? Is it that this one's wife is utilising it once again for the purposes of making herself look good? Well, of course it is. That's what it's all about. But basically, what has also been found out is that the relevant gender justice opportunity aspect of Georgetown law declared, "We were honoured to be named as a champion of gender equity by Archwell Foundation, founded by Prince Harry and this one's wife, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex." No use of titles once again. And Yacht Rock Groupie poses the observation, so they basically gave Georgetown a bunch of dollars so Georgetown would shout them out on their site. Queries, what's the actual objective? So basically, we'll give you $200,000 so your program name drops us with our titles to make us seem important and influential. They're not in a position to create a new endowment or fund a new wing or have a department named after them. But it's still a substantial amount of money for Archwell, given the fact, of course, that its donations have fallen off a cliff. So you have to ask, why? What's the purpose of it? Might it be, and this of course is simply speculation, that there is a residual benefit in all of this? We know that because this one's wife is a narcissist, that she utilises other people's money to then dole it out to make herself look good. She does this as part of controlling people. She wants them to respond by saying, "Oh, aren't you wonderful, helping all of these people out with the money that's been donated to you?" Accordingly, that enables her to control those people, and their responses provide her with fuel. So far, so in keeping with her narcissism. It also is part of the management of her facade. She maintains this facade of being a helpful and kind person. But then, it seems to me that there could well be a further residual benefit. Are they seeking to grease some palms with an eye on the future in relation to Archie and Lilibet and a university that they might go to? Simply speculation. But it would be a residual benefit, although I'm sure that isn't that a bribe and that would be unlawful. After all, hasn't there been some recent cash for admission scandal in the United States? Surely this one's wife would not be so foolish as to go down that route. Well, we don't know what it relates to, but it does seem rather strange, doesn't it, that it's the largest donation that Archwell made, and it goes to a university which doesn't really fit with the concept of what their donations are for, namely small grassroots organisations. But they give it to somewhere that already has an endowment of $3.3 billion. Therefore, why would you do it? Could it be that it is about seeking some kind of favour? Well, only time will tell. But the sleuths there at St. This One's Wife have identified this anomalous donation that doesn't really fit with everything else, both in terms of size and the recipient. And therefore it does raise a question as to what the purpose is. And of course, we know that it's driven by the behaviour of a narcissist. And in the circumstances, it would not be beyond the realms of possibility that it's being done for dubious purposes. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you think it's innocuous? Do you think that they're doing a good thing with these donations? That the $200,000 to Georgetown University with regard to the DEI section is an appropriate thing to do? Do you think it's simply her showing off in order to get a shout out from the university? Or do you think there's perhaps something even more nefarious about it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.